Alright, so just because I've got this feeling, so more is probably going to end up coming out of Hunter Biden in Ukraine and his what he was getting up to there. But it's mostly that I just wanted to appeal to people who they're going to see this, and I was thinking one of the things that we're going to probably see is kind of this attempt to reverse the Ukraine thing, so that it'll be these wild-eyed, this wild-eyed right-wing conspiracy about Hunter Biden, and so the key thing that I really want people especially who are Democrats, to understand is that this was where I ended up realizing that there was this a chunk of information about recent history that I didn't know. It was when looking up just an odd story about post World War II Ukraine, and in looking this up, I started to find stuff that explained, like, especially a lot of odd things I saw during the 90s, where you would have Ukrainian mafiosi, and the idea is that the Russians were bad enough, but whatever you do, don't mess with the Ukrainians. And I was like, that's odd. You don't really hear much about them. How did suddenly they become like this outfit that you see all over the Richmond district? Looking snazzy with their snazzy cars and UKR on them and all that. So it was just one of those things I filed away. Just like how when Hong Kong was turned back over, the streets kind of went quiet in San Francisco, and a lot of the organized crime stuff, somebody was saying, well, no, they've just kind of pulled up stakes and have gone into smarter things, because now business has changed, was kind of the way that it was made, like, put to me about the changeover with Hong Kong and what gangs were doing in San Francisco and at that time. And so I started, in looking at how Albania and Ukraine were involved in World War II, what ends up being the outcome from the two of them, and then what sort of how important they became to the development of the EU, to our fighting supposedly the Soviet Union and communism. And now we're seeing the long-term results, where we have this peculiar arrangement at a certain point with the Balkan states. We have this, and then we have this strange war that just pops up in Ukraine. A lot of Democrats need to look into and see what they could find. And one of the first places to start is the Azov Battalion. That's the first place that you start. And then when you're looking up the recent events of Ukraine, you look up the Bandera, because that's the photograph that you'll see in a lot of pictures. You'll see these people holding a photograph, these torchlight marches. So they're obviously doing it in memoria of this former head of their country, Stepan Bandera, this head of their government. And that's where it begins, because there's no way out of what you will end up finding about our relationship with the Banderites, and there will be no way around it. And whatever the big strategy was that the Obama administration had, whatever it was that the EU was planning, billions of dollars have gone into Ukraine and have just vanished. And that's a big part of this as well, is the ability for them to be within launch distance of the fleet parked in Crimea, the Russian fleet parked there. That's a key strategic part of this, is that the to be able to seize the Crimea is to cut off Russia from most of its blue water ports. I would suggest looking first at the Banderites, and you're going to start, and it will shock you. You won't believe it. You'll be really bewildered by what you're finding, because it'll be like, whoa, what does this have a relationship with? But I mean, you're not going to be able to get around what you're going to find. That whatever was because it's going to be almost some weird Cobra level plot. That you'll be like, why would anybody side with these people? And then why? How are they involved? But that's the key. That's what changed so many people over. This is one of the things that really threw people off about what was going on with the Democratic Party in the last couple of years of Obama's administration, is that we were really wondering, like, what are you up to with Russia? What are you trying to do here, really? Because your actions are very different than what the data says and what your words say, and yeah. So I just thought I would say that, because in one way, it's, you could say, oh, the Democrats, they don't know what they're saying, they're dumb, they're super stupid. But then it's like, no, we all got fooled. We were taught a lot about history that just omitted things that didn't seem important. But what happened in the Balkans, what happened in Ukraine during World War II, and the development up to that is important to know about, because we utilized this. It was the ring that binds them all. We utilized this little secret that these people had, and we utilized it in our secret wars. And now these secret wars can't be kept so secret anymore. And at some point, somebody's going to pay the piper. And so I just suggest looking this stuff up so that you have some idea exactly how kind of weird and deep all this shit gets, and why this shit is even happening later.